He's back. What's up, Alan? How's it going? Been a hot minute since I've done any kind of streaming. Been doing a lot of other stuff. Work's been crazy. But I've been working on the pinball machine pretty much non-stop in my free time. Just depends on what that free time is. Most of the days I don't have a ton to do it, but I've made a lot of progress. Just yesterday, or no, today actually, I got a big old box of my remakes from Send Cut Send because they screwed up like 25% of the order. So I placed the order basically 2 months ago. Took them about a month to get the first attempt sent out to me, and that most of that month was dealing with their customer support and making sure that my files were all correct in accordance with their manufacturing tolerances and all that stuff. So once I got all that adjusted and fixed what I needed to so that my bends could happen and the hardware insertion could happen, they finally did the first attempt at making everything, and that's where like 25% of it was, it either showed up without any of the bends that I paid for or missing some of the hardware that I paid for. So I documented all that, sent it back to them, told them what was wrong, and then I spent the last month and a half dealing with work stuff, and also when I was back home is when I was corresponding with Send Cut Send customer support because I had to make some more adjustments to get stuff made. What's up, Andrew? This is the artwork that I've been working on this week for my pinball machine. Can't see it all. So this is like a very, very rough draft. Roughed with a T? That's a word. The very rough draft. I've been kind of going through and like just placing things, stuff that I had initially in my mind of how I wanted things to look, where certain areas of the playfield are. Let me see if I can find it. Microphone. He's not in his usual spot, hiding behind the computer. One sec. Buddy. No luck. My guess is he's upstairs laying on the bed. Or something like that. When he comes around, I'll show him. Come here. Oh. Come here, you big goon. Oh. Dog cam. It's Kirby. Kirby, he's a good dog. He's recently groomed. I have no idea if that is true. If it is, then I gotta like double down on getting this thing finished, because I want to have it done before they come out with one. Yo! Thanks for the follow, Restovec5, and first time chat, Travahantus. How's it going? Welcome. Oh, cool. Thank you for that awesome offer. Alright. Got rid of that one. I could get massive followers and make so much money streaming because it's a profitable business venture. Okay, so yeah, this is the artwork that I've been working on. This is my first time using Affinity Designer. It's basically Illustrator, but way cheaper. And I'm on the free trial for 30 days, so if I can get this done within 30 days, even better. But like, the Adobe stuff is so ridiculously expensive now. Like, ridiculously expensive. Unless you're a teacher or something. I don't get a discount. Oh, 50% off on Black Friday. Save now. Oh, only 30 bucks a month for the first year. And then after the first year, it goes up to 60 bucks a month for the Adobe apps. It's ridiculous. And if I want to just get Illustrator by itself, it's still 23 bucks a month. It's absurd. Whereas Affinity Designer is a lifetime purchase, just one and done. So I think it's like 50 bucks. Actually, they might have a Black Friday deal. Ooh, I see 40% off that stuff. $40% off right now. I might have to buy it while it's 40% off. So yeah, you can get the entire suite, which includes basically the Illustrator equivalent, the Photoshop equivalent, and something else for 40% off. The entire suite's only 98 bucks right now. Yeah, that's quite the idea there. Maybe I could be one of those professors that does all the online classes that you never see. I could do that. I tried looking to see if there's a way I can like create a university email for free, like an EDU email for free. There's a couple like community college sites that you can do it through, but it seems like too much of a hassle. So I would rather just for $100 have Affinity Designer, Photoshop, or Photo, and Publisher. Now, eventually, Adobe would be useful for Premiere Pro and After Effects if I want to do any kind of animations for my display. I actually might contemplate doing a 30 a month Black Friday deal. But it depends on how quickly I can learn those softwares and softwares, plural. That software, is that the plural? Might be available. Interesting. Okay. So, let's see. Calbasa.edu. Brilliant. I like it. So this is like my first attempt at the artwork. I've been kind of plopping things in here and messing around with it, getting it to work. I ended up swapping out this picture up here in the background for something higher res that kind of fit the theme a little bit better because it's a little bit more dark. Harry Potter's only kind of bright and cheerful for the first year, and then it turns pretty gloomy for the other 6 years. So, did I delete the other one? No. So that's what the other one was. which is, it's definitely more vivid of a photo, but like if I zoom in, it's very like pixelated. It's definitely not high res, whereas this one is at least a little bit better as far as resolution. My train is also really crappy resolution, so I might need to find a replacement for that one of these days. But right now it's just kind of like a placeholder. See, I got the Weasley's car flying away from the train. You got some mentors out here. Weasley family. So everything kind of like pops out a little bit right now. I'll try to blend it better over time. My lower third, so you've got just like train tracks over here on the right, because this will essentially be platform 9 3/4 that you're launching the ball out of the King's Cross station and into the world of Harry Potter. So yeah, down here, the lower third, you've got Voldemort with his arms open. I actually really like that pose. I think it fits well for kind of the theme. Like, obviously you can find pictures of him like casting a spell and everything, but I didn't really want to go that route. You got Bellatrix over here with her cloud around her, as if she just why can't I think of the word right now? The term where they fly in. So like your center drain and your outlanes are basically Voldemort and Death Eaters. Got Lucius Malfoy up here, and then Dobby's in front of him because he's tied to the Malfoy family, first of all. But also, there's a ball save feature that I called Dobby Ball Save. So, I forget what my qualification is for that and how you light it, but essentially when the ball comes down here, there's a pair of optos here, and then right after the optos is a magnet. So I can pulse the magnet to fling the ball. It'll follow this path over here. And then there's another pair of optos right here with another magnet behind it. So I can fling the ball again to give it a little bit more thrust even. And it'll ride this rail, and it'll actually shoot right back up the outlane. And with my first iteration of kind of like that apron ball guide thing, it works actually better than I thought it would. Now, I don't have any magnets or anything hooked up or programmed, but just like me flinging the ball from the right side and getting it to just like fling up through the outlane and back into play is actually pretty dang cool. So that'll be a feature. I've also got quite a few holes over here for post adjustments that I need to figure out. Once I figure out the ideal spot for posts, I'll probably get rid of these slots and just do holes. But for now, I have some adjustability. So I have a target right here that you can try to bounce it up to it. So you got one post here that adjusts, and then there's a corner post under this plastic. So as it comes down there, you can try to bounce it up into that other post, and then over to this other area where I'll have probably a stretched rubber across there. And the goal will be for you to try to nudge it up into that target, and that will be giving you back tilt warnings. So you gotta work for it a little bit. I think that should hopefully be cool. I think, maybe. Haven't tried that yet, so I don't know how well that's gonna work. That's why I have the slots in there to give me some adjustability. So then for this other left out lane, there is a post right here where you can, essentially the goal is you can try to nudge it back up to your flipper feed. There's a one-way gate that stretches off across here, and then there's another one-way gate that goes up this way so that it can't like roll back up and out the drain there. Yeah, so your outlanes are mostly Death Eaters and Voldemort. The slings are Ron and Hermione, and plastics kind of look funky right now. I'll do something different with those eventually, but for now I just threw a brush stroke on it and gradient backfill. Around these inserts here, this is a pensieve. French word, maybe. So these triangles here will be the Horcruxes, essentially. And then the center circle is like the final wizard mode, the Dark Lord, or whatever I end up calling it. I think the Dark Lord is kind of a cool wizard mode name. So yeah, got my Horcruxes around there. And then across here are the 7 years, so 1 through 7, and then underneath it are the wizard mode for each year. And I plan to code this with save states so you can try to experience the whole game in all 7 years. So that's those inserts. These right here, these 4 rectangles, are the multi-balls that are in the game. So there is changed since. So this was my initial stab at insert labels, but it's changed since then. Quidditch multi-ball, Weasley multi-ball, Hogwarts multi-ball, and I forget what the 4th one is. Multi-ball, Quidditch, Weasley, Gringotts, Hogwarts. And then there's oh, probably couldn't do that. Make it so you can see it. So Trio Team Up is also kind of a multi-ball. It's kind of like a, essentially like an add-a-ball type of thing for mode usage. And then the other 4 multi-balls are their own specific things. And then these 3 circles are the mode requirements per year. So what you have to do is either play or complete 3 modes. I haven't decided what that difficulty is going to be per year. And then also play 1 multi-ball per year. And that qualifies you for the wizard mode for that year. And then there will be, the goal is to have many modes available. Like, I call them story modes or whatever. So there will be many story modes available per year, with like main ones that you're supposed to play for like the actual story arc. But then there's a whole, what I want to do is a whole bunch of side ones that will be like auxiliary. So you can experience different things each time you play. These inserts here are what I call the magic multiplier. And let's go back to my document. I have it documented somewhere here. I'm gonna Game structure? No. Green wizard mode, multi-ball. Did I not create a thing for it? Thought I did. Well, anyways, the magic multiplier, and I swear, like, I know I created a document for it somewhere. So that is tied to this captive ball underneath this plastic here. So that will work. So yeah, there's a magnet in there. There's a bank of 5 narrow targets, or oblong targets in the back there. So you shoot the ball into there, and then I have this captive ball mech that actually lowers a bar down and holds the ball captive in there. And then the 5 targets are the word magic. So while it's captive in there, each time you complete magic, it increases your Playfield multiplier and releases, and then you can like hit it to release the ball, so you can have like 2 balls in play plus a Playfield multiplier. But if you drain that ball, then it resets down to 1x. But the fun thing is you can like risk reward, and while those 2 balls are in play, lock one of them again, knock it around again, and try to spell magic. With each time the requirement changes a little bit to get more and more difficult. And then that can build you up to 2x and release the ball with 3 balls in play. But every time one of those ball drains, it lowers the Playfield X down. So that would be only available during, I think, during modes. I might let you do it on top of multi-balls, but I would have to find a way to track the number of balls in play correctly so that the multiplier is correct. So that's the concept with that. That is also going to be like a mode shot tied to Harry, so the Scar. And that will also be where you destroy Horcruxes after you collect them. So that's Magic Multiplier. That's all of these center inserts here. This arrow is just to indicate the, can't remember the name of the passage from the Whomping Willow to the Shrieking Shack. What's up, Turbo? This is my attempt at artwork. So, obviously very early on artwork, but roughly right, trying to get things positioned where I want them. Since you're playing in the world of Harry Potter, I want it to have an overall world layout, so different zones are tied to different areas. So like this whole section right here is like London, so you have the Ministry of Magic, Department of Mysteries, your Mystery Scoop. This one is tied to the Order of the Phoenix and Grimald Place. The center shot here is like the Prophecy Orb, also where you collect and destroy Horcruxes, and the Playfield multiplier shot, and that's also where like the projector projects into the orb and does like your shot timer, and certain like scenes will play on there from the movie. This shot to the right is Diagon Alley, which is a 180 or a turnaround, or it has a drop ramp that drops in it too. So yeah, that's like the whole London area over here. And then this is up here, Hogwarts grounds. Right in between them is the Weasley's shot, the Burrows. So that's like how you lock a ball for Weasley multi-ball. But yeah, this is all Hogwarts grounds up here. And then down on the right side, you've got Hagrid's hut. Put the plastics back on. Yeah, Hagrid's hut over here. You've got the Whomping Willow down here. And you've got King's Cross Station, platform 9 3/4 in your shooting lane. So that's kind of like the general layout for location. And I'm trying to showcase that with the artwork in a way that makes sense and isn't too crazy busy. So I've got this picture of the Loch Shiel, or something like that, is the actual location that they filmed the Hogwarts area. That's that image there. This green picture that's kind of underneath Hagrid's hut is actually a picture of the location where they filmed the Dark Forest shots, the Forbidden Forest shots. Which you can't see much of it. Yeah. And then I just put in a cobblestone thing for London that may or may not change. And then through the center, the very obvious, bright, vivid color wand battle. Spell effects going on there. That took me like 3 hours to get that looking the way I wanted. It's actually composed of like, I don't know how many elements. I don't know, there it is. That is many elements, all kind of scaled and adjusted together. So, like the actual spell casting thing, I was able to find some artwork on the internet that did that, and then I just recolored it to the colors I wanted. And then the electric kind of lightning bolt through there is another thing. All of these like splash effects, I like to kind of refer to them as like a lava explosion. Like if you watch the movies and you see a wand battle, it kind of looks like it's lava or magma melting off of the collision point and off of their streams of magic. So that is actually, I Google searched for olive oil splash, and then I recolored it. So it's actually like a transparent ping of olive oil splashing, and then I like turned it upside down and recolored it. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I think that really shows kind of what I want to do. What's up, Borg Dog? How's it going? Welcome. It's been a hot minute since I've streamed anything. And then there's some other like elements in there to give that brightness in the center, like the light going off. You look at, let me close these. Wand battle. So like here's a good image showcasing a wand battle, and you see like all that magma that's kind of seems to be dripping off of the wands or the spells. Or like if I go find the one in the graveyard, be here somewhere. Anywho, like here's one. There's less of that kind of lava effect in the later movies. But it's like really noticeable. There's the graveyard. So you can kind of see it like melting off of those streams of magic there. There. So I kind of wanted to try to make that my thingy as well. Oh, yeah. I was like on the edge if I wanted to actually do my own art or try to like hire it out through Fiverr. But ultimately I think it was just going to be easier for me to kind of put my mind on paper than try to translate that to someone else on Fiverr. So I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out so far. Things need to blend together a little better. This whole lower third section, I want to put something else behind it instead of just the gradient. Like if you go look at Hobbit Pinball, for instance. That is a small image. And a bigger image. I miss the good old days when Google used to let you specify what resolution you were looking for. That was great. That's a big one. So like, I'm kind of in a way maybe gonna end up with something close to this as far as how things are blended together. So they did a whole bunch of different scenes. So like maybe I could do something different underneath that lower third instead of just a gradient. Like there's only a few spots where they even really have any kind of just color gradient with nothing going on. But I think one of the important things to do too when you have that busy of a background is making sure you have, you know, clearly defined shots with the artwork. Like if this was just an insert with even just a border around it, it might not be as easy to identify. Like that Playfield, obviously pulling up JJP machines on both, but these are the more recent in my memory. So like even the artwork on this. So there's this little transition section here where it's just a gradient overlaid with an image of, looks like maybe like some stained glass windows or cathedral ceiling or something. So like that's a good transition, but everything else down here is, you've got this whole section, some interesting vector art around it, and then you've got the stained glass window thing. There's some gradient back in here behind this image of the exploding car. But that all ties with this scene from Sicily up here pretty nicely. And then looks like most of the outlines and stuff down here are just like a wood texture. You know, some windows right in front of the flippers maybe. But even this, it's got a lot of stuff going on. You got the cobblestone underneath the shots here and here. That's kind of what I'm going for with my whole London area. Maybe a look kind of like that. Some of this crazy art with the whole New York and the skyscrapers, like that's someone did that by hand. I can't. I'm no Franchi. I can't do that. Best I can do is just plop a bunch of things together and try my best to make it fit. So what I was going to kind of maybe try to work on today was refining that whole London side. But it's also difficult to find like a good applicable image. Of course, that opened up smaller. Even that's still tiny. Like this might be something I could maybe steal and work in there. It's on the internet, it's not stealing. So that's almost kind of like a photorealistic diagonally thing. Oh, and while you're here, let me take you over to this other scene. There. I got a camera on my CNC as it's working right now. So right now it's machining the faces. It's doing the finishing pass on all the faces, so the ledges of the inserts. And some of the polycarbonate inlays that I'm doing in some areas to protect from the drop ramps. And then also like the inset for the normal wrap flaps. Wrap flaps. Ramp flaps. Got it. I can speak English. So it's going through and doing that right now. At some point I'll have to go and fire up the next toolpath once this finishes. I don't know how far along it is. Yeah, isn't this great? You just sit and watch this all day. Dude, it's so frustrating. You can see like my on my linear rail on the top there, it's got some surface rust on it that just like appeared this summer. And it's because we had a wet summer here and my barn just got super humid inside. And so like a lot of my hand tools got some surface rust on it, and sadly the linear rail on the CNC got some surface rust on it too. So I at least invested in a dehumidifier for out there for the summer times. And then I got heat out there in the winter that just keeps it at 50 degrees. Helps pull some of the moisture out of the air. But I need to figure out how to remove that surface rust from that rail without ruining the rail. I don't want to have to replace it. That would really suck. So yeah, I thought this was a fun little cam. That'll always be up in the upper right of the normal view here. So if you want to just like take your phone and like zoom in on that image, you can just do that. Okay, so I went out and found that image of diagonally. Just gonna place that there-ish. Might be able to actually do something with this. Make it down a little bit. I kind of think I want you to be able to see Gringotts down the alley. So I could do something kind of like that. Or maybe like that. I'll do a full. Maybe something kinda halfway like that. I can trim that up, make it look a little bit better. Don't like that the transparency on that is so... Well, find that, then I'll just draw thinking I can do, and I'm terrible with these. Stupid. No. No, let's start fresh. Thinking fresh start. Try to keep this on the outside of the rail. So there's a little bit of lead. And I'll just continue on with that. There. Add my plastics. And here. I don't know how graphic artists can do this all the time. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, then cool. Power to you. Alright, so we'll do that, and then we'll just do that, and mask to low. I can go back and mess with my transparency thing again. What I want that image to be more clear, kind of like through a majority of that. Making it worse. Wish I could make a like 2 transparency things on a single layer. I can just this something a little bit kind of like that. But I don't know a way that I can see it takes it away from the other side, which is super annoying. Let's see, Affinity Designer. Double transparency. Nope. After applying transparency, group the photo. Create a group with just photo in it. Apply transparency to the group. Ugh. Oh, I can apply a gradient to my mask layer as well. Not a bad idea. Okay, so then go to my mask layer, do a gradient fill on it. And that end is white. Back. Doesn't appear to be doing what I think it's supposed to do. And can I mask to below? Then use fill tool, apply a gradient to the mask layer, set the middle node to pure white, set two unknowns to black. See, I'm new to this software, so I'm new to basically any kind of vector graphic artist stuff, so learning. I could just group this. Apply transparency. That's not half bad. Undo whatever I just did there. Image was just a little bit different. Always just do another group and another transparency. That's one way to hack the system. I might need to come back through and do that with my other cobblestone thing. Let's group it again. Do another transparency that way. Okay. Still can kind of see a line on my sub-transparency. There, that might be a little better. That blends okay. Let's move that below some other layers here. Not half bad. Kind of like that. Not sold on the cobblestone. That might have to change at some point here. Hide it for now. So let's see. Horcrux areas under this plastic. Don't know if I want to do anything there quite yet. Art-wise, I don't know what I want there. This left shot is London. The London, Order of the Phoenix, and also the flight ramp. Show you what I'm looking at. One sec. Ow. Whoa. Alright. So that is a giant whiteboard where I've kind of laid out the playfield with dry erase marker. And then I've wrote stuff on it, on where things go. So that's what I keep looking at. Or if I can position this over this way a little bit. Maybe turn the screen. There we go. You can kind of see it. I'm sure it's really tiny. So, yeah, that left orbit is London and Order of the Phoenix. So, what I want to find... I do like that picture. That turned out. Grimald, place, caps lock. So if I can kind of find a shot of that street. At a unique enough angle that could maybe work. Like some of these are really dark images. Scene. So let's look up Pinball, place, film. Not square. I find it's usually maybe easier to find pictures that are useful. You look at the actual physical location pictures rather than, you know, the movie. Maybe that's such a grainy photo. Angles on these are feel like something like that could work if I could find a higher resolution pic. Maybe something like that too. I don't know how I want to arrange that. I could maybe like tilt that one direction. Ideally, I would have something with kind of a street running down the middle that I can plop in there. Why are all these photos so dang grainy? It says it's higher resolution than they actually are, and then they take you to this download site with a bunch of ads. Well, let's at least save this one. Copy that text. Place. I don't need one. Might actually work. What I can do with that. That could actually maybe work the way. Well, there wasn't so much rubbish out by those fences. Keep tripping over this dang cord. Okay, so let's mess with this. Oh, what's up, Game Time Television? It's been a hot minute. I haven't seen you stream in like 20 years. I haven't streamed in like one. Nah, it's been, I think June or July. I was streaming some. How's it going? Been a minute, Rod. Tool. Maybe do something kind of interesting with this picture. Buddy did show up. Just chewing on his foot. Come here. Here, bud. Oh, there's Buddy. Oh, there's the camera. There. Look. He's all groomed and looking fancy. Oh, okay. Doesn't want to be held any longer. The art on that upper left orbit shot is looking good. You mean this area here? The Weasleys? Hold on, let me get this transparented. My plastic's doing. Okay. Let me mask this. Probably there. And supposed to go up. Plastics. with it. Cross. Go out to here, down to this corner, and I'll transparency on that. Oh man, this soundtrack brings back some serious memories. Okay, do a fill on that, and then mask to blue. Then I'll do some transparencies. Rod, I am working on the artwork for the Harry Potter Playfield. So this is what I've got so far. This whole lower third section, I'll eventually maybe throw a little bit more stuff in behind the background there. But right now it's just got kind of a gradient going across. I've only completed 3 plastics, so I've got the slings done. Well, the background on the slings could use some work. But Ron and Hermione. And then I've got the Whomping Willow plastic art done. That'll sit up on top of a spinning disc. The horny elixir is all the way back in potions with Snape and these shitheads. So they'll be back in here if you want to find the horny elixir. For you, that's probably in the room of requirements, which is that. And then I did the plastic for Hagrid's hut area here. Found another picture that I borrowed from the internet. And then everything else I've kind of just plopped and placed in here as needed. And I've gotten to a point where I'm starting to get just like a general overall feel for the layout, location-wise. So I was saying earlier, like, Hogwarts grounds is this whole upper section here. And then you've got obviously the hut and everything here. You've got Hogwarts Express riding into platform 9 3/4, which is your shooter lane at King's Cross. So you're kind of like launching the ball through platform 9 3/4 and into the world of Harry Potter. This left side is your London area, which is why I'm working on that right now. And yeah, that's kind of like the general layout. So the London area encompasses shots like on the left here is the Ministry of Magic, or the Department of Mysteries, which is your mystery scoop. It's kind of a wide shot, but it actually is more hittable than you think. This shot right here is General London, or Order of the Phoenix, Grimmauld Place, or I call that like the flight ramps, because there's a ramp all the way back here that goes up and around the back and then to the Sorting Hat mech. So that's all London, and in between London and Hogwarts is the Weasley shot, which will be tied to the Burrows, which is their house. So I'll have some artwork in there to represent that. Then you get up to Hogwarts grounds. This upper loop here is Hogsmeade. You can shoot either way to get to Hogsmeade. I call it the Hogsmeade orbit. You've got the Denisi lock thingy here. Yeah, So behind me is the rotisserie I built in the first iteration of the Whitewood, which I went through and made a ton of changes to. And so if you look up on the screen right now, I'm actually cutting out another Whitewood. So this is Whitewood 2.0 being cut right now. And this had a lot of like overhauls done to it as far as the layout goes, based on what I was shooting on the Whitewood back here. So that I think is going to play a lot better. I'm excited for that to actually get cut, because once I have that, I can put the inserts in it, give it a clear coat, just so I have something to play on. And then I've got another box of send cut, send parts for all my custom metal work and polycarbonate, stuff like that. So then I can start assembling more permanent things like ramps and whatnot. So yeah, that is being cut right now. I'll probably have to go out. And start up the next toolpath in a little bit here, once it finishes. That's in the upper right. Yeah, so Hogwarts grounds. What do we got? So we got the Hogsmeade loop. You've got the trio team up, which right here is like a Denisi lock behind some drop targets. Then I've got a Newton ball right here, which is Dueling Club, Cycles Mystery, Collect Jackpot, stuff like that. And then this right here is a turnaround. I'll hide the plastic so you can see the layout. So I've got a turnaround shot right here, which is the courtyard, and there's actually a drop wall back here. So if you shoot this left side of it, it can actually feed your upper flipper, and anytime you shoot the right side, it does the turnaround. And both of those are actually fun to shoot because it actually crosses to the other flippers. So if you shoot the left side from the right flipper, it'll cross over to the left, which is pretty fun. Also a little bit dangerous, but as long as it goes through there at a good speed, should be fine. And anything that kind of trickles out, I think, is far enough outside of the center drain where it's not terribly at risk. Anything that trickles out of the left side here will hit off this bank of targets and find its way over to the right side. And then this is the center ramp, which is a 180 ramp that feeds a wire form as well as the Quidditch Playfield. And then over here with Snape, that is what I call the potions class area. So you've got a sling on the left side, you've got a pop bumper here and a pop bumper here, and there's like a through the pops shot to the room of requirement / the fluid network. And then you got the right ramp, which goes up to the sorting hat mech. That is the, what do I call that? Oh, that's the castle ramp, is a good way to put it, because that also, through the sorting hat mech, feeds the Hogwarts upper playfield, which is a polycarbonate upper playfield that is see-through, so it doesn't block the vision of the shots below very much. And I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. You got the Hogsmeade loop here again. The Dark Forest, or Forbidden Forest shot is under this upper flipper. And that actually comes in here, and I've got a custom diverter where it'll either come around Hagrid's hut and then back out into play here, or it'll come down into a Vuck in Hagrid's hut and kick up to a wareform. There's that there. Hagrid's hut here has the wand targets on it. That lights the wand ramp, which basically gets you wand practice so you can advance and learn more spells. Your spells are all part of this whole center battle thing here, which is the magnet on a linear rail. And different spells correspond to different magnet positions, as well as different target groupings that you're supposed to try to hit. So every time you cast a spell, it launches out of this left shooter lane here. It'll come up a diverter, or like a kind of a drop wall thing, and feed out straight up this rail. And then there will be like kind of a flashing underneath where the magnet location currently is at, and then the action button will do a temporary pulse to the magnet, so you can try to fling it up to a certain grouping of targets to successfully cast that spell. So I think it's going to be a cool way to do some like skill shots slash feel like you're using magic to fling the ball at certain targets. Give some control to the player. So yeah, pretty excited. It's exciting to actually just see artwork now. See what's possible, what I can do. Yeah, it's nuts. I'm nuts. Something must not be right in my head for me to decide my first homebrew would be this. I might try to do well, no. Gonna have to get creative and do a couple different groupings. Do the transparency the way I want to. And then we'll group it again. You're like, this is funky to me. You shouldn't have to do this to get transparency that you want. But I'll take this software all day over the $30 a month current Black Friday sale on Adobe that goes up to $60 a month. Okay, so there's that, and that can move below my ball guides and my masks, and below my inserts. This one can too. There, so there's London. Oh yeah, my broom needs to be on top of that. Where's your broom, Harry? There. We'll call this Grimald Place. I'll do London in here too. Wait, thought I moved. Oh, right? Yeah. That should be below my broom. How is that not below my broom? I'm confused. Move it up here. Oh, I renamed the wrong one. Stupid. So let's see. Oh, okay. Now I can name them properly. So this one should be on place, and this one should be Diagon Alley. That would be something. I don't even... What if it wasn't something that came out of the coin box and removed the glass? What if it was actually in the machine and it was just this actual Adobe house elf miniature that like can walk around on the playfield and just grab your stuck ball? My pet Dubby. Okay, and I moved that broom up and shouldn't have. I can sit above the normal place, and then maybe do something kind of like that, roughly for now. Okay, now I just got an idea for the... Let's see, maybe not. More crux. Oh, I don't know what art to do underneath Prophecy Orb. So kind of what I was thinking when I just had that random spurt of imagination is the Apartment of Mysteries. And then doing something kind of like this with that door underneath. It still could be. That's fuzzy. I need a good clear picture. Like if I had this with better lighting, I would throw that underneath. So you want just a little tiny one that can crawl through a coin slot. You don't want a big Dobby that can mess with your gameplay. Probably a good idea. Something like with this maybe. Let's go find larger pictures. Maybe that. Oh, coin box. Well, what? Oh, you want him to like through the little coin return flap? Have him crawl out through that? Now that'd be cool. Oh man, if I could do something with that arch there, that could be cool. That somehow. Needs better lighting. What was that called? Department of Mysteries... Death Chamber. Sweet. That's one heck of a name. And that's just where he stays. Like, he doesn't do anything else. He only comes out when there's a stuck ball. Like, he could be your friend. And, like, make a bunch of cakes float around your house. That's what I want. I want Adobe that can just make a whole bunch of cakes float around my house, so whenever I'm feeling like cake, I can just go grab a handful. Department of Mysteries, Arch, Harry Potter. Oh, they're just also dark. Veil. Well, see, here's what I'm thinking, Rod, is like, once I get this finished, and I take it to Expo, then I'll have a whole bunch of actors just walking around as Harry Potter people all day. And people will be like, what the heck is going on? And then they'll see there's a Harry Potter homebrew. And then everything will make sense. I also want to buy one of those, like, wands that can actually, like, shoot fireballs out of it. So I can just walk around Expo, like, flinging fireballs around, and people will probably call the cops on me, but it'd be worth it. I got big ideas. And then, like, let's say I set this up at Expo. What if I created just a room that this sits in, and it drowns out everything else going on at Expo, and it has, like, floating candles just magically there surrounding you as you play. Like, that could be cool. Grand ideas. Department of Mysteries, Harry Potter. Let's just look for a medium-sized image. Doesn't have to be large. But I don't want it to be tiny either. That's tiny. That's also tiny, but I'm still gonna save it. Okay. It's just way too dark. I can't really do anything with that. They're all crashing there. Just need a high res one of like. Department of Mysteries door. Open that image and see if I can do anything with that. Ah, the color is so bad on these pictures. Like this has great color, but the door is too far away. That's what I want to do. Wait. I'll find something that works eventually. Maybe... I don't know, not feeling it. Just place something. Gotta find it. What the heck did I just download? Why am I not seeing it? No, no. Oh. Well, I can place this in here for now. Eh. Not necessarily feeling that. This a new tab. Maybe try to do something with that. I don't know. I don't like my options for that. Maybe I need to figure out something else that goes underneath the prophecy orb. Let's see, Harry Potter prophecy. Off, I can't spell. Nobody will notice. His face under it, but... Door. Or the door. Oh. The door to Don's office. Why is there a cat coming out of it? Guess I need to rewatch the movie. I don't quite understand that either. Like, I get that it's a door to his office, but why is there a black cat? Is that in the movie? Oh, does he? Oh. There we go, I could just put her face underneath it. Yeah. So the first movie, at the wedding, everyone's in his office, like people going in and out. Did I? Okay, that's large. Yeah, I suppose that's to simulate the flooring in the house. Blurry, why are these people putting these blurry pictures? So annoying. Maybe had a picture of the Death Eaters in there with them. Something like that. Also tied to like his scar, so just have his forehead in there. That would look silly. I don't quite know. Oh, looks like my toolpath is done. So let's switch over to that scene. And then I'm gonna run out to the barn real quick and fire up the next toolpath in the operation, ERB. Alright, back inside. Things are running. It's doing the finished contours right now. So it just did the finished faces, so you can see like the ledges for the inserts and the recessions in the playfield for like ramp flaps and polycarbonate inserts, stuff like that. So just finished that one. Now it's doing the contours, which is like clearly cutting and defining all of the vertical walls on everything. So there'll probably be another 3 hours or so before that finishes. Okay. Back. Alright, so I was trying to figure out something for prophecy orb area. Maybe do like a smoke. Maybe. Let's do this. Magic swirl. Nope. Nope, nope. Just, I like the door. If I can find a good image of the door, I would like to put that on. I just downloaded it as a web ping, didn't it? Or WEBP? That pretty small. Don't want to scale it necessarily. Got the black bars already on it. Scale it just kind of looks ugly. Oh, not working for me. How does the book describe the door that you need? Maybe just an image of the page and let people... That's a good idea. I'm just gonna screenshot directly from the book. That probably won't be any issue, right? How big is this? I could just throw something like that in there. I think that's like, they call that an infinity portal or something like that. Something to do with those stupid Marvel movies. Yeah, please reference this page to understand this area. Yep, they sure will. Yeah, throw something like that there. Then it was centered over the magnet. That could work. A little bit bigger. I could throw like a gradient behind it or something. So that it fits a little bit better. Do that. I probably need to come out to blend that a little better. Or I can just like fade it one of these days. I'll just come out here, stay just outside the bounds of that art. Kind of want to come in, fill there, there. Here. There, something like that. And then do a gradient. Direction, that direction. I'll make the front of that maybe transparent a little bit more, set that. Oh, that color maybe black? I don't want that area behind the targets to be dark because the projector is going to be shooting from there. And then let's make transparency. I'm thinking if I go with elliptical, that, back a little further with it. Maybe something like that kind of works underneath there. Not half bad. That's a good spot for that thing. The helmet, or the skull, with the smoke skull, this guy here. Maybe that could kind of come swirling out of there. Might work. So this I want to set behind those other guys that I made. Oh, I want it to set in front of Diagon. That, but I want it to be behind from old place in the broom. I'll have to mess around with these lines. But node tool on the curve. I want this to be underneath that. This can kind of probably ride the inside wall of my ball guides. That way this doesn't like kind of leak outside of the space and into the artwork turnarounds. Then kind of needs to be that. No, so this isn't, this is like a Illustrator knockoff, not a Photoshop knockoff. So it's vector-based editor, which allows me to do more scalable stuff if I were to be doing less rasterized images. But I seem to be doing a lot of rasterized images. There, so there's that one. Now, find the mask for that. Is grabber. Kind of like that through there. Rest of that I don't care so much about right now. Okay. That's trimmed there. And we'll find the... Oh, where did that move to? Diagonally. Down to the mask. Make some little adjustments to it. Just so that it bleeds over nice. Yeah, so Borg Dog, I picked up the software. I'm on the 30-day trial right now. Eventually, I might buy this, or I might take advantage of the Black Friday deals with Adobe right now. But I feel like I'm gonna need After Effects and stuff like that to do some of the animation stuff that I want to do. So I haven't decided yet, because the Black Friday sale right now takes the price on Creative Cloud, which is like pretty much a full suite of software. Right now it's $30 a month for a full year, which is much more tolerable than the $60 that it was last week. The $60 a month for Creative Cloud is absurd. Like, basically the Black Friday deal that they're offering right now is the discounted price that students and teachers get. But if you're just like a hobbyist doing this stuff for fun, you have to pay $60 a month. It's not like I'm profiting from their software. I'm not making a bunch of money doing this homebrew project, but they want to charge $60 a month. So ridiculous. Over it. Okay. Transparency's down. That transparency there. Might do one more to get rid of that line there. Transparent. There, a little bit better. I can name this Diagon Alley. That area's a little better. CS6, which is the latest version you could actually buy. See, I used to torrent back in my college days, so I have some old Adobe stuff, but I don't want to try installing that on Windows 10 stuff. Or 11, I'm on 11 now. Yeah. So, what I might try to do they have Black Friday deals right now? So my Fusion 360 is actually up in like 10 days. Purchase 3 one-year subscriptions for the price of 2. Like, what's my renewal price right now? Products and services. Yes, okay. Subscriptions. So yeah, mine expires December 1st. My renewal price is $490. So like, what's the if you were to just buy a seat? Did not mean to do that. Whatever. Products, Fusion 360, $545. Paid annually. Yeah, Rampant Slug. I've been working on it in my off time. It's just a lot of... I have to get motivated to actually stream, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, decided to fire it up today because I'm not only cutting the Whitewood 2.0, but I'm also working on the artwork. You got yours for $360. So yeah, if you're like a new person coming into this, it's $545 annually. So I was tempted. So Send Cut Send back in like April had a deal where if you were a new user for Fusion 360, that you could get a discounted price on your annual payment, plus if you spent $1,000 with them at Send Cut Send, you would get like another $1,000 cash back to use at Send Cut Send or in credits. It's like, man, if I could have found a way to somehow call Fusion, complain that they offer discounts to new users and this and that, or spoof a new user ID off of my other email address, I could have taken advantage of that. But I still had like 8 months left on my license with Fusion. But they hardly do anything for existing users on this stuff anymore. It's like currently I'm paying $490 annually. And even like if I went back to that deals page that I was just at, so right here. So you can do 3 years at 1090 divided by 3, which is a great price, but I guarantee you this is only for new users. This might not be for new users only. Usually most of the deals are for new customers. Buy 3 subscriptions and save. Good question. Yep, 3 new, 1... Oh, so it is new. 3 new 1-year subscriptions. Yep. So that doesn't appear to even apply. Maybe you can spread it out, but I don't know. Either way. E5 for the price of 4. So it looks like come December 1st, I gotta spend $490 to keep my Fusion 360 going. It's annoying. Dude, I'm totally with you. I'm over this subscription software crap. Okay, I was gonna maybe mess with the Grimold place. Find... Maybe just to clean that up a little bit. Not bad. And then behind that I can do just like a white gradient or something. I'll fill that space in. The rest of this flight ramp, I would like to do some clouds. So let's go find all these things that are going to make me spend money. Let's find clouds. I don't need a ping. We'll just... Hey, thanks for following, Decibel. Welcome. I don't stream often, but when I do, it's maybe a good time. That's up to you. You might hate it, you might like it. Hey. I kind of like the colors in this one. Let me guess, it costs money? Download full size. I don't know which of these links to trust. There's so many like tricky links. Sometimes you'll click it and it'll take you to a bunch of different pop-ups. I have been working on this for, I don't know, 2 years inside. I have a forum that I started just recently to try to document some of the progress. Let's see, how do I get to my posts? Post activity? Yeah, we'll just go to this. I'll drop a link in the chat to the forum. There's a link to the forum. There's some pictures in here you can look at. A little bit of story about how I started, as well as the more up-to-date renderings. Semi-up-to-date. Thought I had more pictures in here. That's like some earlier stuff. There's my subway system. Oh, that's a pretty cool image to throw up there. This is also the old layout. This is more recent. I just threw some 3D models in there of different stuff. There. Yeah, so this is what is currently the layout. And hopefully shouldn't change again. Should work. And it should shoot well. I think I've thought of mostly everything, but we'll find out. This is my first homebrew. Call me crazy. I, for whatever reason, decided I was gonna go full-blown, do as much crazy, nutty stuff as I could. So I've got like different mechs and stuff that I've custom designed. So back here is a multi-way diverter that basically all of the ramps feed to it, and it feeds to all of the wire forms and also some of the other ramps. Back here in the back is the Quidditch Playfield, which is a custom mech where you have a transparent polycarbonate piece of playfield that actually raises up and down with a ball on it, and the flipper raises with it. So you can try to shoot loops and shoot through the hoops of Quidditch. Underneath all of that, so between that and the playfield, is a whole drop ramp assembly that reroutes balls and diverts balls and all kinds of stuff. Down here in the lower right is the Whomping Willow spinning disc mech thing. That's got a powered spinning disc, so I can either control the spin of it, or I can disengage the drive wheel, and then it can be free spinning. So like I can position the posts in such a way that it impacts some of the shots when I want to, or it can be free spinning. So yeah, little nuts. Then there's the underside of it, the underbelly of the beast. So yeah, what you don't see from the top side is there's this whole linear rail with a magnet on it. So kind of like Mist Multi-Ball and Dracula. Similar concept, except that I'm using a linear rail and stepper motors to drive it, whereas I believe that was just a belt and DC motors. Or no, it was like this custom screw that they had through there and DC motor. And this might change. Right now it's just like a lead screw. I might actually change it to a belt drive off of the stepper, because I should be able to get more speed out of it. Thanks, yeah, I appreciate it. I've been working on the layout for quite some time. I'll go back to the artwork in a second to show you how it flows on the main level. And then this whole drop ramp assembly changes all the flow again. And you can kind of see my Quidditch upper playfield here, with back and behind it is a 3-ball lock and a Quidditch chest that releases them onto that upper playfield, so you can start a Quidditch multi-ball. Or you can just shoot up this center ramp right here, and it'll feed over to this, and that's how you get Quidditch practice in, which will help you qualify Quidditch locks to start your Quidditch multi-ball. And then that drains into the towers of the grandstands. There's the rotisserie, custom rotisserie that I designed. Actually works. Here's the Hogwarts upper playfield. So that sits... I don't know if I have a picture of this in there. No. So that sits right here. It's again polycarbonate, and the shape of it and design of it has changed. This is an older iteration, but it sits right there, so just so you know where it goes. And then, so right here, that drop ramp assembly actually feeds across here. A wire form attaches here that goes down to your right in lane. And then there's a flipper right behind it. So as that ball kind of passes by there, you can try to flip it up onto the Hogwarts playfield. The spinner shot here goes to a half ramp that drops it back into that drop ramp and feeds back to your flipper. So it's kind of like a little mini loop that you can shoot and keep feeding the flipper. And then this right here is a custom horizontal spinner that I designed that actually uses spring compression spring against the bottom side of the playfield. And then I've got ball bearings that ride like a wavy track around here. So when you hit it, it spins, but then it always resets down into that wavy track in the proper orientation, so it's always reset to hit it again. So I think that's pretty ingenious. It'll be cool once I get that printed and installed. 3 bank of targets, and then I've got Peeves, and this is just a 3D model of Peeves that I found, and I dropped it on top for now. I'll have to actually sculpt that out so I can have the rod go up his butt. And then there's, so this is a Newton ball upside down, and then it sets into like a concave 3D printed thing, and it also uses a spring to help it recenter. But when you hit it, there's this contact ring, copper contact ring right here. It'll be wired up so it senses as like a switch hit whenever you hit Eves, and he will actually swing out and try to impact your play. And the design on that is kind of, we'll see how it works right now. I might have to rethink this whole arm and the design of it, but right now it's just, I've got a drive wheel back here that's hooked up to a servo, and then the pressure of that drive wheel should be engaged against this piece of metal enough to where it can help turn it and like turn it back and forth and swing him out and back in. And that pivots on the shaft of this magnet here. So this is just a solenoid with a magnet core, and that shaft is held on, and so it just kind of uses that as like have an axle to pivot around. We'll see how that works. So that magnet is meant to stop the ball back in behind this horizontal spinner, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. That might be like a ball lock if I can hold it there long enough. We'll see. See what, I don't know what it will take to actually pulse the magnet to do it without overheating, but who knows. Yeah. So that's the upper playfield, which I can also feed from the sorting hat right here. I can have a ball dump out on the upper playfield right here that rolls back down, kind of volleys off of this post to your flipper. Or you can shoot up the right ramp, which feeds around back behind here up to your flipper. Oh. There's a whole look at the one of the earlier iterations of the Quidditch playfield. Been a few changes since then. So yeah, take a look if you're bored. And that clouds thing downloaded, so let's see if I can place that in here. Whew. Big one. Kinda want it just for the texture. To there, but like maybe right there. I'll shrink that down. Get that big. I'll kind of blend that. And I'm going to create a mask. Get this real quick. Pen tool. Okay. I want the mask to my goal is I'm going to blend this into the sky of that picture there. Come all the way up this side. And then I'll figure out the blend on that later. Maybe come down to here. And what I'll do is kind of ease that into the existing sky on this picture. I don't need to necessarily get this finicky with it, because I'll just do a... oh, I can't even think of it. Transparency thing. Maybe I actually kind of use that back into Beasley's too. Yeah. Why not? And then... or how do I want to come with it? There, and I kind of want to try to transition this. I want to show the sky here, so you can kind of see where the shot is, and I'll like blend that in to the other background there. Needs to come to here. Here. Good enough. Then mask to below. Show that. Release. And oh, wrong tool. Good enough through there. Now mask to below. Oh. Again. So it can go up a little bit. Show that. There we go. Now it's all contained within the mask. And then something kind of like that. Then oh, what do I want to do? I want to do another one, so we'll group it and do that. I'll kind of recolor that too, I think. Group. What do I want to do here? Let's first grab this and drag it down below. I can see what I'm working with. This needs to be below my diagonally and my Grimold place. Then I might try to kind of blend that a little bit better there. I'm not that great with color adjustment and how to do all that stuff, but you know, it's a tough one. I've got a good paying job right now. Do I love what I do right now? Not necessarily, but it pays well. It would have to take quite a bit for me to actually consider relocating. All my family's here. But never say never. I just don't know how competitive the industry is when it comes to pay. That kind of blends in there. And I'll do the same on diagonally. I won't stretch that out too much because it'll start showing the lines of the Yeah, I mean, but if your job becomes building pinball machines, then maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't be doing hobbies like this in my free time. In my free time, I'd probably find something else to do. That might actually kind of blend alright there. And then, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, dream job. If I could move to another state and do work for a company building pinball machines, that would be awesome. More specifically designing, because like this is cool to me. This is fun. But my family all lives here. I live alone, but my family's here. My parents are getting older. So it's tough. Okay, that blends a little bit better. Let's see, what do I want? Vibrance? Sounds like a thing. Looks like that did almost nothing. Make the saturation down a little bit. Yep. I mean, that's better, but not better. Because of those down there. At the very least, I can do this. Try to get it to match the other clouds I did. Then maybe go through and do a little recolor. As it starts to stand out. Whoa. I adding that too. Not feeling it. Yeah, not sure what to do here yet. What do I want to look at? Exposure? Turn that down a little bit, maybe? No, not necessarily. I don't know what I'm doing with color stuff. How to make that fit. Levels. It almost kind of, in a way, does like a gradient up from the other skies, but not feeling it either. I can come back and adjust that later. I don't know what to do with it. How are we feeling with this? One thing I could do, did I download a Burroughs? I did. Just to check. Ah, it's a puzzle. Kind of works. That's a figurine. Stupid puzzle. If I could get this in transparent, that would be great. Another model thing. Just don't like this one. House. I feel like I could maybe take one of those images if it was larger. Try to place it and blend that in. This is kind of potential. Oh, it looks rendered. Maybe make that work. Let's place it. Find it. There it is. I think that could work. I don't know if I want to try blending it or what I want to do here. I think I want to create a mask at least down the right side here. Let's do that. I could just like pop it in the other program. Oh, where I can actually see it. Wrong tool. Do. I just clicked and dragged that, didn't I? That. Oop. Definitely not. Nope. I can probably keep the tree on the left. Fade that in. That. Where'd the Weasley house go? Here. Nest to below. And little transparency thing. And what do I want to add to this? Blur might soften. Blend the outside edge maybe a little bit. Not quite. Not what I'm looking for. Well. And I want this to be maybe a little bit more like that. And then blend it a little bit more. Then I'll do the top. Okay. There, it kind of looks like it maybe belongs. That last transparency. I could. Maybe one more. Let's see what I can do. Trim the car out maybe. Doesn't blend very nice if I do that. Or sure isn't pretty, but might work for now. What was the other thing that I wanted to look for? What's the name of it? Apparition. Harry Potter. Apparate. Ing. don't even see a picture of it. Harry Potter. Smoke. I kind of like this one here, but it's not transparent. Pretty sure. That one is. Open image in new tab. That one is. One could actually work well. Save image. And let's place that. There. And if I could like overlay that. Oh, which way would it? Maybe just that underneath the inserts. Over the house. So where's the house? Find that and place it over top. Oh, it's gotta be over that. There we go. And then do that. Around that, that would be better. Elliptical. Maybe something like that. I could find, like, that's a good straight one. Could have some good uses too. But it's not transparent. Straight one. At that curvy one. That one. Got the straight one. That one. And then save. Save. Wait. The same? Didn't get this one then. Save image. Alright, let's see what I can place in here. Like I'd almost have one. Place it behind the house. Great one. Got a couple different straight ones. And what I want to do with this is build off of that one below it, if I can make it big without it looking bad. Yeah, so if I can take that. Oh! Curvy one. Now, like, a little bit more. Like in between. Then go back to my transparency. Alright. Do another transparency. Trim out some of that funky stuff. And then a little bit of transparency on the tip of that so it doesn't look so yeah, that kind of worked out halfway decent for that. Go back to that mask on this. I'd like to something a little bit more. Then I can go back up to this transparency here. Don't like the sharp line on that. It also needs to sit below the Weasleys. Okay. And what's that look like with the plastics over it? Not bad. And I make this end a little transparent, maybe, to blend it better. Sometimes I surprise myself. It doesn't look half bad. From old place. I want to find that bottom transparency. That. Knock it forward a little bit. Okay. Not the happiest with that. It's maybe a little bit better. And then what can I do transparency-wise on that? The shine on that diagonally is a little bad. Now I need to go back and adjust my clouds. There. Find that mask. Okay. Maybe do something similar out here too. Okay. That way I can blend that building in just a little bit better. Where is it? Is something to knock that down a little bit. Let's see, where's the train? Needs to come down. stuff? Yeah. Then, can I group this again? Maybe mess with that a little bit. Not messing with it too much. Then, where's the picture? Oh, wrong thing. Knock some of the highlights down a little bit too. Shadows. Alright. Not terrible. Okay. I think with that, decent progress. I'm gonna probably call it for today. Maybe stream another day eventually here if I feel like it. But for now, it's been a minute, so felt like I should stream. Appreciate anyone who hung around and listened to me mumble my way through this artwork that might be hideous, might turn out good. I don't know, I've been looking at it so long now, it just all looks the same to me, and I'm questioning all my decisions. See if anyone else is streaming that we can raid. My categories. Okay. Maybe let's do that. Pinball Mag. I haven't watched Twitch in a minute. Let's see. Is it slash raid? I did it. Pinball Mag TV. All right. Cool. Alright. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate y'all chilling. Looks like they're playing some Lord of the Rings. So, hopefully you enjoy the stream over there. And when I stream again over here, we'll maybe catch you again then. So, thanks.